Hey guys, it's Marcus Maloney, the Equity King here with Equity Realty and Investments. Hey, as a wholesaler, you run into quite a few acronyms when writing contracts, when talking to other wholesalers, when talking to other investors, especially when you're talking to your cash buyers and title company and real estate agents. So, and I know when I do some of my writing on my blogs and when I do some of these videos, I use quite a few acronyms. But what I want to do today, because I had a few people that asked me about some of the acronyms that I use, I wanted to just do a brief little video of the majority of some of the acronyms that are used when doing wholesaling contracts as a real estate investor, as a landlord, and some of the acronyms used when doing traditional financing and seller financing. So I just kind of want to go over that. I'm not going to go into depth with all of these. I just want to introduce the acronyms to you. That way you'll know what they are when you see them and what they mean. So let's get started. First, as a wholesaler, you definitely need to know what REI stands for. That means either real estate investor or real estate investing. Next is ARV. I'm sure if you've been doing some reading and some research before getting started, you have definitely seen ARV. That stands for after repair value. So after the property is completely fixed, what can it sell for on the open market? Not as a fixer, but as a traditional sale. Okay, and then next we have JV. That stands for joint venture. This is when you're working with another wholesaler or a investor and you guys want to have a mutual agreement on something. This is not like an assignment agreement or anything like this. This is just an agreement between parties to let you know that we are working on this deal together, as wholesalers or as investors. Okay, and then next you have IP. This stands for inspection period. Then you have GOI, which is a rental term for gross operating income, and that's just a general business term as well. So this is the income made annually without any expenses taken out of. So this is what you have coming in a month or annually. So if you have 2 rental properties and each rental property is bringing in $500 a month, then you have a gross operating income of $1,000. Then next is the net NOI, which is net operating income, and this is the income that's directly to you that goes into your pocket, your bank account, whatever, after all expenses are taken out. So using that same example of the 2 rental properties, both bringing in $500 a month gross, but then let's say on each one you have insurance and taxes that are $50 a month. So you will have $100 coming off one, $100 coming off other. So you would have a net operating income of $800 on that property, because you have to deduct the $100 per property on the expenses. All right. Then we have LTV, which is loan to value. This is definitely good for appraising and traditional real estate. PITI, which stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. This is for your mortgage note or your lender's note. Then you have LOI, which is letter of intent. And that letter of intent is normally sent out, especially with wholesalers, if you talk to a seller on the phone and you guys somewhat agree to terms, or you're sending out an initial offer, you will have a letter of intent. This is my letter of intent showing interest that I want to purchase your real property, your real estate. So it really doesn't outline the specifics. It may have some minor specifics in it. Let's just say if it's a cash offer, you say this is a letter of intent to buy your property at 123 Main Street for $39,000 cash as is, and that's it. Okay? Next, PC, which stands for purchase contract. No need to explain there. Then you have EMD, which stands for Earnest Money Deposit. You will also see that as strictly EM, which is just earnest money. All right? And that earnest money, again, is being held in some states by your attorney, or it's held in some states by your title or escrow agent. Okay? Then next we have settlement statement, SS for settlement statement. This is what you will receive from the title company or from your attorney once the transaction has closed. It shows where all of the money was allocated during this transaction. As far as the earnest money deposit, purchase amount, it shows the inflows and the outflows of the money. That way everything is definitely transparent. Okay? Then you have HOA, which is Homeowners Association. AFD, which is Agreement for Deed. This is a way to take possession of a property. This is a way to hold title. This is done, you can do it in seller finance transactions and things like that. So remember AFD. Then you have APR, which is Annual Percentage Rate. AB stands for Absentee Owner. Or you may see it as strictly, let's do this, AO for absentee owner. BOM stands for back on market. This is especially critical if you're making an offer on a property that's listed on the MLS, which I'll go over that one. If it's listed on the MLS and it may say pending, but then the buyer did not complete the transaction, didn't honor that agreement, or couldn't get financing, so then that agent put that property BOM, back on the market, back active on the market, okay? Then you have CMA, which is Comparative Market Analysis. This is definitely critical right here, because this is how you're going to get your ARV, which determine your MOA, which is your maximum, MAO, which is your maximum allowable offer. So this CMA is basically your comparables. You have a house on 123 Main Street, and there's a similar house on 127 Main Street, and it sold 30 days ago for $85,000. Then you know if it's within the same area, same number of bedrooms, same type of house, same similar square footage, then you can use that property as a comp in your CMA. So you know that your properties after repair value could be up to or a little bit above $80,000. Okay? Then you have the capitalization rate. This is definitely done for multifamily property. It's also done for single family properties. Don't let me steer you in the wrong direction. This is just this is your cap rate, your return on your money when you're investing in a property, cash, and you're using it as a rental property. Okay? Then you have CC&Rs, which is conditions, covenants, and restrictions. This is definitely important when you have a property that's in the HOA. It lets you know what you can, what you cannot do, your boundaries, borderlines, and everything like that. So you need to be abreast on that. This is definitely important, like I said, when you're dealing with properties that have a HOA, condos, townhomes, restricted living areas. So that's good. Then you have COC, which is cash on cash return. Then you have CFD, which is contract for deed. C of O, this is certificate of occupancy. That's normally done when you're doing a rehab or you have a rental property that you're going to rehab. You want to make sure the city or the county, that jurisdiction, gives you a certificate of occupancy, a C of O, to let people know that this property is suitable and can be lived in. Okay? Then you have Fizbo or FSBO. This is for sale by owner. This is properties that are sold without a real estate agent. Then you have OO, which is owner occupied. And this is important, especially as a wholesaler. When you're wholesaling a property and an owner lives there, you want to make sure that you do everything above board, even when there's a tenant living there. But OO stands for owner occupied. Next, we will go back to the top. So next we have DOS, which is due on sale. This is normally in any contract or lending document where the lender can call the note due, so they have a DOS, due on sale clause. Then you have HML, which is hard money lender. IRR, internal rate of return, how fast can you get your money back from your investment. Hvac, which stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. FMV, fair market value, which is similar to ARV, after repair value. You have LO, which stands for lease option. LP was lease purchase. Then some legal entities, which is LLC, which stands for limited liability company, and LP, which stands for limited partnership. Then you have LOC, LOC, line of credit, and HELOC, home equity line of credit. Okay? So some of these, again, you may already know. Some of them you may be just recently been introduced to you, but I just want to make sure I go over these. That way when I'm doing some of these videos and when I am writing some of the blogs, you understand these acronyms. Okay? Then you have MAO, which I talked about earlier in conjunction with your ARV, that this is your maximum allowable offer. This is the highest that you can pay for this property. All right? Then you have MLS, multiple listing service. NAR, National Association of Realtors. NDNC, non-disclosure, non-compete. You have NNN, which is called triple net. This is a triple net lease. This is mainly used in commercial. That way you have to pay everything. You have to pay your rent, the taxes, and insurance, and all of the utilities on the property. Okay? And then you have NOD, which is notice of default. So these are pre-foreclosures or foreclosures. So these are notice of defaults, defaulted on their loan. You have NOO, which is similar to AB, which is absentee owner. These are non-owner occupants, non-owner occupied properties. Then you have OF, which is owner financing. PM, which is private money, which is a little different than hard money. This is capital that you raise. This is capital someone else raised that you're borrowing on. Then this one you will hear quite often, which is SFR, which stands for single family residence. Then ROI, return on investment. I invested $100 and I made $1,000 off of that $100. This is my return on investment. Okay? Then you have TC, which is title commitment. So once you submit a contract, the title company will start doing the work, and you will receive a TC, which is a title commitment. And then finally, the most important is ABC, which stands for always be closing. As investors, you know, that's the most important thing, is to always be closing transactions, and transactions that are valid, transactions that you help someone, or transactions that they were win-win situations. Okay, so ABC, always be closing. I just wanted to go over these acronyms again. This is Mark Maloney, the Equity King. I will have this list and a more comprehensive list at my blog, which is equityrealestateblog.com. That's equityrealestateblog.com. And also, if you want a free 30-minute consultation, you can go to that blog site and find that consultation link. And I'll be talking to you one-on-one and answering any questions. So it's Marcus Maloney, Equity King from the sunny Southwest Phoenix. signing off.